Hello. Hello to whoever is watching this. Today I want to take a look at the COVID-19 contact tracing app for Germany. It's an open source app and it's on GitHub, so I got interested. And I just want to take a peek, look how it works. Maybe there's an opportunity to contribute some code, although I don't think that I'm going to write any code for the app today. Yeah, just look around, maybe build the app, and yeah, let's see. So I saw that the app is developed by two big companies, Deutsche Telekom and SAP. I'm curious if they actually maintain an open source project in a way that you can contribute to it in a meaningful way. Compared to other open source projects, as an example, like the Android project is also open source, but it's very hard to actually contribute much more than maybe a bug fix here and there, since the actual development happens in secret. So I wonder if this is different for the Corona One app. And I'm pretty excited that it's actually open source. I don't think that's still something that happens a lot in Germany. But yeah, let's take a look. Let's just scroll through the README a bit and see what's in there. So the list of known issues is interesting. The exposure notification API is going to block you from successfully testing the application unless you are whitelisted inside GMS, which probably means the Google Play services. That's, of course, a drawback if you want to contribute to this. I wonder if there's an opportunity to just mock those APIs locally. Maybe let's open something to write some notes down. Hey, Grisha. Hey, welcome. Some notes. So, since the site mentions that you need to be whitelisted for the exposure notification API, is it possible to mock the notification API? That would be a fun thing to contribute, I guess. I remember there were projects that tried to implement a replacement for the Google Play services. I don't remember the name. They tried to replace the whole Google Play services. In this case, it would be interesting just to have something that replaces the notification API, I guess. The submission flow is currently not working inside the test fragment. No idea what this means. The exception handler is heavily work in progress. Okay. The storage is currently based on encrypted chat preferences. Sure. The app could crash. It is generally heavily work in progress. Okay. The test coverage is generally low and needs to be improved. Well, that's a nice thing to contribute, I guess. It's also a nice way to learn about the app. And take a note about this too. Write some tests. So for today, I'll probably just collect some notes, and then maybe in a future stream, we are actually going to write some code. How does the app work? What does it do? Iggy, high-level description. Yeah, I think I saw somewhere there's a documentation. Or maybe this link here. Oh, it's a separate repo. I can only describe it from what I've heard and I think read, which might be totally wrong. But we will find out. What I heard is that Google and Apple open up APIs that are restricted to those apps. And with this app, with those APIs, it's possible that if someone marks themselves, and this part I'm totally not sure about, someone has COVID-19 and somehow they can make this public through the app. I'm I'm not sure how it actually works. And then through this app, in a privacy preserving way, can make sure or can somehow notify all the people you were in contact with without actually sharing this data with anyone else or no third party. I'm really curious how it actually works, and yeah, that's something to figure out. I think I saw something with Bluetooth, but yeah, let's see. Today I'm just poking around to figure out myself, and yeah, invite everyone to take a look too. I recall seeing contact tracing proposals that discussed contact tracing apps exchanging random strings with devices nearby. From that, you can see if you ever was in vicinity of someone infected. To get infected strings you emitted to others are centrally marked as infected. Yeah, that might be how it works. Because I saw something with Bluetooth, I think, and that might be Bluetooth LE might be a nice way to actually exchange those strings. Let's hop over to the documentation once more. Scoping and user interface screens. At least it's very well documented, apparently. A lot of documents in this repo. The aim of the Corona warn-up is to identify SARS-CoV-2 chains of infection as quickly as possible and to break them. Does it by rapidly and reliably notifying people that they have had contact with an infected person and therefore may have been exposed to the virus. These individuals can then self-isolate to help stop the pandemic. Okay. User journey. Let's see. Okay. No. There's some Bluetooth activation here. Sending, receiving Bluetooth keys. Okay. Functional description. That is due. I would love to see like a technical description in 5 sentences. Okay, those are the screens. They're in German though. Right? What else is there? Solution architecture. Let's look at this image here. Okay, so the app is broadcasting something. I'm scanning for something. Actually send something to a server. It does kind of verification here. I'm not sure what this is supposed to do. And there's some lab test result thingy here. I guess they need to somehow verify that you're actually infected, right? Otherwise, I mean, they can't put a button into the app. Otherwise, you can cause quite some panic. Let's see. Looks interesting too. This looks like there's quite some server side stuff happening here. And it's also interesting that there's like a test result retrieval and exposure notification. I wonder if this means that you get your test results inside the app too. Yeah, there's some Bluetooth LE happening here. I wonder which part of this actually requires a Google Play API, though. It's not clear to me yet. Retrieval of lab results. Okay, so that seems to happen in the app too. QR code scanning. Really nice that all of this is like publicly documented. I wish that would happen with everything that is paid for with tax money. I think it's still rare in Germany. I haven't seen that happen quite often. Okay, lots of text. I won't read all of that on the stream. It would be boring. And let's switch back to the actual repo. So this is the repo of the Android app. And without the whitelisting, I'm not actually sure how much we can do. I just checked it out and I guess, well, it seems to be still importing, which is not a good sign. Let me switch back to the browser and restart Android Studio. Been importing for quite a while now. Hey, let's maybe look a little bit around here. Source, Java, application object, Corona 1 application. It's definitely nice to see that it's in Kotlin. Is there an auth system already in place for the lab info stuff? I guess they could provide you with results for a test without a specific identity. By a unique test ID or something? Yeah, that is a interesting question. I don't know the answer to it. But in this documentation that we just looked at, there was some interesting image. So first of all, they have some kind of TAN mechanism here. And there was also something about scanning QR code. Here, printed QR code. Scan QR code via camera. And then there's here some back and forth happening with the verification server. And then you get some diagnosis keys. And the 10. Yeah, interesting. Way too complicated for me to understand right now. Okay, tiny little application object. Let's see what could be interesting here. Exception HTTP nearby notification receiver risk service sharing storage timer transaction UI update util and worker. What's nearby? Exposure state update worker. Application client. Tells Google Play services to start a broadcasting and scanning process. The first time that this method is called after installation of the app, it prompts Google Play Service to display a dialog box where the user is asked to give permissions to broadcast and scan. Okay, but this probably means they are not using the Bluetooth LE capabilities of the device directly, and Google Play Services does this, which probably makes sense because the app might not be able to run at all times, so Google Play Services can cheat and do the scanning all the time. The 10 is to make sure only a confirmed test can lead to an upload of the diagnosis key IGI. Your keys from the last 14 days that were used to generate the advertisement. Nice. Okay. Verification, yeah, doesn't look super interesting. Risk levels. Right? Oh, I almost missed that it finally imported. Did it import into Android Studio? There's no run configuration. Not sure. I'm on a pretty weird Canary version of Android Studio. It just works well for the projects I usually work on. This looks like it was imported, but not really. Application configuration. Mission sharing. Exposure sharing service. Storage. Okay, UI. Bunch of utils. Worker. Okay. Let's see. 16 issues. That's nice. Let's see, do they have anything that looks interesting? Legal status of images. Theme, confusing prompts, adaptive icon, QR code scan, UI. Do not log in production. Is it really possible to test the app? Yeah, I looked at this one before. Okay, looks like it's not really usable right now without the whitelisting. Which might be another reason to find a way to mock the Google Play services, at least for development purposes. I assume Google won't whitelist anyone. Backend URLs should not be changeable by intents. It's probably true. More translations, code coverage. Community. What's the community tag mean? Discussion. Solution without closed source dependencies. Right? would be very welcome. Now I'm missing the context of the message in the chat. Did we talk about the mocking of the Google Play services? Yeah. Yeah, earlier on the stream I was trying to remember there was this project that tried to build a replacement for the whole Google Play services. Was some years ago, so probably I guess dead because it's pretty hard to keep up. Google Play services replacement alternative. I'm not sure what's a good search for that. Yeah, micro G. Yeah, exactly. Micro G. Does this still exist? A free, as in freedom, re-implementation of Google's libraries. Let's see, GitHub. Well, updated yesterday, updated 2 days ago. Looks like there are people working on this. Well, if I look at the line, then maybe not. Let's see, 100 commits. Yeah, no. 2018, the last commit. But I guess technically you don't need to pretend to be Google Play to mock the API, right? The app could just talk to something else. Doesn't need to actually be another app. Okay, let's actually try to re-import this. Would like to at least see where it starts to crash and so on, to see where the part of the code is. For the app for the Netherlands, we already use an abstraction on top of the API. The exposure notification client is already an interface. Oh, awesome. Are you working on the app? And is it on GitHub? I'd love to look at this too. Yeah, makes total sense to just choosing tasks and stuff though. Feels a lot like reinventing the wheel if every country is working on that, but I guess there are also strict rules how it works in every country. Okay, that is the Dutch version. Okay, let's see. Exposure notification. The service. Yeah, the processes for the health authorities are slightly different, I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense. Still feels like there's a lot of shared, yeah, code, maybe not code, but knowledge that, yeah, feels redundant, but at least in Europe, I mean, it'd be nice to have some shared understanding of that. Okay, I guess I'm going to start this repo too. That's super interesting. Let's see. Somehow Android Studio has no interest in actually porting this. Let's kill this completely. Okay, this Gradle is pretending to build something. Introduction of a dependency injection framework. That sounds like a fun discussion. Yeah, not sure. Nothing here looks like, yeah, that's something to work on. Yeah, the most interesting thing right now is probably getting this to run at all if you're not whitelisted. Yeah, fortunately, code is open source for EU countries. Yeah, that's true. Actually, let's just build it on the command line, while Android Studio doesn't want to do it. What's the name again? CWA. Let's see, there is, yeah, let's install a debug version and we'll launch an emulator in Android Studio, I guess. Install debug not found. Install device debug. Okay. What is device? Hey, now Android Studio actually managed to import it. Sure. Let's look at the build file. What is device? Flavor dimension version device. Use flavors to build different versions of the app. One version which uses the mock exposure notification API. So why was no one able to launch this if there is an exposure notification API mock? Well, I guess because there's only a device flavor and there's a mock flavor missing. Is the reason? There's a build variant. Like, see if anyone is using this. With build config. Okay, still building. Oh, why is this? Oh no, it failed. Why is this so slow? No version of NDK matched. Oh wow, is the NDK code? Okay, then let's build an Android Studio, because Android Studio, at least the last time I imported an NDK project, was smart enough to find the right version and install it. I don't want to figure that out now. Yeah, what are you using the NDK for? That's a good question. I didn't actually see anything. Well, there are protocol buffers in here. Do protocol buffers need any native code support? Other than that, protobuf build. Server protocol buffer. No, for protobuf you generate Java code. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if there's any underlying native code. Okay. Oh. Ah yeah, that's what I was looking for. This link, install the right thing. Indicate 21. Alright, I will take a while, I guess. Put in the background. Dependencies. Kotlin, ton of Android X stuff, QR code scanning stuff, test stuff, play services, retrofit, HTTP room, Guava, Yoda time, Android X security, SQL Cipher, conscript Android. Fancy render script blurs. Yeah. How do I actually find any native code? Is it C++? No. It's dot. Render script, it's .rs. Can't find any. Thank you for hosting me, whatever this means. Yeah, so Android Studio is still downloading. Did it already build a build config? At least, yeah. Okay. That at least allows me to look for. Was it a build variant that they added something very specifically for the device flavor? Yeah, build variant. Let's see if this is already used somewhere to decide what to do. No, it's not. Okay. Let's also search here just to make sure it's not Android Studio that is confused. No, it's only defined in a build file. Okay. So there's probably nothing, there's like nothing mocked yet completely. All right, let's see. Where does it actually break if you run this? Like this issue mentioned, I think that it crashes immediately if you're not whitelisted. Maybe we can at least figure out today where it's crashing and where you could start mocking things. That would be interesting. Let's see, I don't want to read the whole issue right now on the stream, I guess. For some hints. Okay, this exception seems to come out of the play services, so that's cannot be helpful. What? Wants to install again? No, it did. Okay. Try again. Let's run this. Your stream is on my profile now. Okay, thank you, Jeff. Hey, let's see. There is actually something coming up and it's in English. Get started. Lorem ipsum. Okay, now it crashed. Nice. Let's open PitCat. What's the ID again? Is that the wrong integrated file? It's the one. See if we get the same exception mentioned in the issue. Nearby exposure API. Notification API is not available on this device. Too bad it doesn't show the caller's stack trace. Probably somewhere inside notification. No, that is for notifications the app shows. Service. Maybe let's search for this string. Oh wait, there was a nearby package. It's a nearby API. You can look for exposure notification client. Thank you. It's actually exposure notification client. Internal exposure notification client. This one. The singleton. Async start. Async stop. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Who's calling async start, for example? Request permission to start tracing is called in internal exposure notification permission helper. Okay, and this is called from test for API fragment. Let's comment this out and see. It looks like could be the earliest time where we do something. test for API fragment. But I guess we need to somehow fake that we have the API. Okay, still crashes. See, it's the same crash, right? Yeah. Actually, if everything everything is going through this thing, then maybe we could just quickly return a mock here. We need an exposure notification client. I think that could happen in production too if your play services are messed up somehow. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, are there also devices without Google Play services? I'm not sure if they're getting sold in Europe, and then still need to get the app. So maybe what exposure? I just want to autocomplete this class to actually get into it because this has no type here. Guess I could here. With here. Okay, yeah. That's, I guess, the interface you mentioned. I thought it's an interface in the app you're working on, or the Dutch version. It's always an interface, then let's just create one here. See if we can get this app to just start up. What is this task again? Oh. So this is a task that returns a boolean. Is this easy to fake? The tasks are a bit problematic. Okay. So you're wrapping this in a nice API so that you don't need to use the task API, and then your mock doesn't need to use the task API, which probably is a good idea. Tasks for result. Yeah, maybe we can fake it with this. I'm not trying to actually build task. Did I import the wrong one? What is this? For result? Can't find it. Tasks. Okay. Thank you. That is super helpful. Enabled? Yeah, it's enabled. Provide diagnosis keys. Turn task. Guess cancelled. Maybe we can return cancelled everywhere. Just start. I don't want to return cancelled from here. But what is the right result if it's type void? There. Can I put in void? No. I feel totally lost. When? I'm not sure. Yeah, Java, exactly. Return null. Of course. makes sense. Get exposure information. Oof, mutable list. As we turn an empty list, or an empty mutable list. Does this really return a mutable list, or is this just Kotlin trying to guess the type? Get API key. API key object. Let's return cancelled. And this one returns also an empty list. Oh wait, this is not actually a task. This is an API key object. Return null. Doesn't want to return null. I guess the underlying. Can I just create an API key object? Private get shared API key. Oh god, too many options. Let's look at the interface again. This is Java and get this is has API keys. Get API key. I just cheated and returned null for my fake. Take a look. No. Yeah, let's try this too. Make this nullable. Turn null. Let's see. Does it launch? Okay, I don't think we have seen this screen before, right? Risk identification. I guess I will say do not activate because I just want to get into the app. Okay. Will not send or receive notification. Okay, this is fine. If you are diagnosed with COVID-19, please notify this in the Corona Warn app. Okay. But what is stopping me from what I'm drinking? I'm drinking alcohol-free Weiss beer. Well, it's English word, with beer, maybe. Wow, that's a long intro. Hey, but we made it into the app. That was easier than I thought. Seems like this is the main thing you want to mock out. And yeah, I also wonder if it makes sense to have a different API on top of that. I will take a look at your code here. Curious. Oh, that's in a test. Yeah, because you mentioned you actually mocked this. You wrapped this, right? So curious how this looks like. Here, wrapper, exposure notification API. Nice. All nice suspending functions. That is indeed much nicer to use. That is just there to give me suspend function for task nonsense. Yeah. That is pretty nice. And then you still pass in a different notification client for your mock. Probably going to extract an interface for that for easier testing. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's look around in the app, I guess. Overview. Explain some things. Share the app. And download link. Okay. App information. Settings. Delete all data. Test API and test risk level. Okay, not sure. Does test risk level. Test notification. Register your test by scanning the QR code of your test document. Register your test by entering your 10 manually. Okay. All right. Was quite interesting, I guess. Not sure what else to do today. I just wanted to peek around a bit. The only thing that seemed interesting to me right now is maybe building this kind of mock. But to be honest, I prefer to ask on the issue first before before investing any time actually doing that. Is this app safe or does it have some security issues? I don't know yet. I haven't looked at the app until today. I only saw here someone apparently already posted something about the root detection. Not sure if this matters. And someone posted, what was it? Backend URL should not be changeable by intents. So every app could start the Corona One app with any backend URLs. That sounds super scary. But it's not published yet, so I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that this is only temporary. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we spent an hour now looking at the code. That feels good enough for today. Maybe later I will ask on the issue if they are interested in someone contributing the API mock. That sounds like a nice little project. We could introduce one of the missing build flavors here in addition to device, and then maybe also have a small wrapper around exposure notification client, but I'm not sure if I want to replace all the code that calls into this and if they are even interested in landing this, because that's of course also a scary big change for them that comes from someone else. But we could at least, based on the build type, inject a different exposure notification client. And since this is only for testing, it could actually be the one we just wrote, and we can improve it later on. Would be really fancy to have a second app that pretends to be Google Play Service, where you can also, I don't know, send data back to the app if this is happening here. But this sounds super over-engineered, I guess. They probably made it open source, so in the end they couldn't not bucket app. Well, I think they mentioned somewhere that they open sourced it because the German government asked for that. And I really like that part. Yeah. I mentioned before, I hope that is something we could do with everything that we pay tax money for. Also, I don't know, TV shows, documents, they all should have a nice license that you can use this for a bunch of things. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Maybe tomorrow we can try to turn this into something that we can actually ask them to review. Until then, see you around on the interwebs.